Hello. Welcome to our Joget DX app building introduction and quick tutorial. With Joget DX, creating apps for both desktop and mobile devices is fast and easy, with an intuitive drag and drop visual interface. For the quick tutorial, we will create a full-fledged app to handle customer service requests in just minutes. Let's begin. In the Joget App Center, we will log in as the default administrator. The default administrator's username and password is admin. The App Center displays a grid of published apps. On the bottom right here is the admin bar, where we can manage apps, users, monitoring, and system settings. Let's click on All Apps. This opens an overlay that shows all the published and unpublished apps. Published apps will display any available user views on the App Center, whereas unpublished ones will simply be inaccessible and hidden from end users. To close the overlay window, click on the X button located on the top right. As an administrator, we have the privilege to create and modify apps. The three ways to do so is, to design a new app, import an existing app, or install an app directly from the Joget Marketplace. In this case, let's get started on our new app, the Customer Service Request app. Click on Design New App. Key in an app ID and a descriptive name, and click Save. Good job! Now we have the base for the app, shown here in the App Design view. The Forms and UI tab shows the forms, lists, and user views in the app. You can create each of these components manually, or use the App Generator feature to generate the required components automatically based on a template, which we will do soon. The Processes page shows the workflow processes designed for the app. Do note that, it is not mandatory for an app to have a process. The Properties and Export page allows you to configure the app's properties, and to export the app to be deployed on any other Joget server. And for the Logs tab, this shows the server log for messages and errors present for this app. This is useful for app designers and developers to quickly troubleshoot issues for the current app. Alright, let's go back to the Forms and UI page to create a new form. We will start by creating a request form for customers to submit their request information. Let's fill in the relevant form details. After clicking on Save, we will be automatically redirected to the form builder for our newly created form, on a new browser tab. Here, we can see the design form page of the form builder. On the left here, is the palette containing available form elements. And at the middle, is the form canvas. A form can contain one or more sections, and each section may contain one or more columns. When you mouse over any form elements, or in our case this section area, the elements configuration buttons will appear to allow you to configure their properties. Now, let's try changing this section's label to a more meaningful value. Click on the Edit button for this section. This opens up the Elements property editor that shows properties that you can modify. Different form elements have different properties that can be configured. After performing the label change, click OK to save the property changes. You can add more sections into the form using the Add Section button, and shift sections around the form by dragging it to your preferred position. Now that we have our configured section, let's add a few basic form elements to the form canvas for our request form. You can simply drag and drop form elements from the palette into any form section. Similar to our previously configured form section, mouse over behavior, click on Edit to modify the form element properties. Let's set this text field element as the title of the request. At any time, you may preview the form by clicking on the Preview tab at the top bar. We are lacking many more important form fields. We shall continue editing the form. Let's add another text area element to the form to capture the description of the request. Once you have finished designing the form, click on the Save tab at the top bar, and you will receive confirmation that the form is saved. Now, it is optional in this tutorial to add more form elements to the request form. Pause this video temporarily if you wish to do so. Fantastic! We are done with our request form. Available in the Joget DX Enterprise Edition, the App Generator is a feature that greatly accelerates the app building duration. To use the App Generator, click on the Generate App button on the top right of the form builder. Do make sure that the form is saved first. The App Generator dialog will offer options to generate a list, generate CRUD elements, and a couple of built-in process templates. You can click on the Advanced Generation button to fine-tune the generator properties if you prefer to. Check the first two options to generate a data list and a CRUD, and since we also require an assignment process to handle customer service requests, we will select the assignment process. Click on Generate, and that's it. Once the generation is complete, you can safely close the form builder. Coming back to the app design view, we should see a number of auto-generated forms, lists, user views, and an assignment process. In addition, since auto-generated apps are also automatically published, instantly you will be able to launch the app in runtime from the Joget App Center. Let's see how our customer service request app looks like in a desktop browser. Let's launch our new app from the App Center. This is the automatically generated app user view, and here is the customer service request form that we made previously. Let's try submitting a request to start the assignment process. Alright. Looks great so far. Additionally, the app that we created is also mobile ready. Let me show you how our app looks like on a mobile device. Awesome! Our app is now complete. In just a few minutes, we have successfully built a full-fledged enterprise app. As an administrator and app designer, let's see how we can easily maintain or customize our app. The Quick Edit mode is a feature that allows administrators to quickly identify forms, lists, and user view menus directly from the front-end UI, and even navigate to their respective element builders. If you are logged in as an administrator, you will see a minimized admin bar on the right, with the option to toggle Quick Edit mode. Once Quick Edit mode is enabled, elements within the user view page are highlighted with Quick Edit buttons. Clicking on the Elements button will launch the respective builder in a new window. Let's try editing our existing form to make the title field mandatory. Now back in the form builder, edit the title text field, and go to Advanced Options. Set the validator property to default validator, and you can see additional configurations for the selected validator plugin. For the default validator configuration, check the mandatory property option. This ensures that this field is now a required field before end users can submit the form. Alright. Save the form, and close the form builder. Now back to our app runtime, reload the user view page, and you will see the immediate changes in the form. One more thing before we go. For an even faster way to get sample or template apps, you can go to the Joget Marketplace, which is an enterprise app store for Joget apps and plugins. In the App Center, click on the Download from Marketplace button. To download apps, you will first need to sign up for a free account. Once you have signed up, log into the Marketplace. For an example, let's see if there is an app similar to what we built previously. Excellent. We can find a Service Help Desk app. Let's click on this app to find out more about it. This seems suitable. Now in the top right here, click on the Install button to install the app directly into Joget. The app will be seamlessly downloaded and installed for you, and it will appear as a published app in the App Center. From here onwards, you can simply use as is, or customize the app as required. Well done. We are done with this introduction and tutorial. Thanks for watching.